I had the pleasure of sitting down with two amazing women, Vivian Jokotade and Queen Smith, where we discussed how you can just be yourself and do what you need to do to become the best you. As we sat down and we discussed during this 6-part segment, there was so much greatness that came from those conversations. I personally learned so much, and I hope that you will learn also. Join us as we release these bi-weekly segments. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I hope you enjoy. Going into another transition, you said something else, Vivian. You say a lot of things that strike everyone. You talked about help and asking for help. I think a lot of times we put up such a guard as women. We put up a guard that everything is okay. I need to make sure I look like I have it together. Or you suffer in this silence and you never actually tell anyone, or you're not vulnerable enough to let someone know, I need help. Oh yes. How can we let women know that it's okay to go to your sister and say, I need help with something. I'm struggling in this area. I'm struggling with jealousy. I'm struggling with envy. I'm struggling with pride. I'm struggling with, there's a million things that we could list. But the real issue is even opening up your mouth to say, I need help.
Okay, so I think one of the reasons why a lot of women don't open up is because there are not too many dependable sisters. You know, if I cannot count on you, Jess, if I don't feel comfortable, if I don't feel like you can keep what we talk about to us, I'm not going to come to you for help. You know, and if I keep putting a wall around me that I have it together and not let people know that I have it together sometimes, but not all the time, then I'm not going to come to you because you just look so good and I feel like you're going to judge me. So I think, first of all, leaders have to be dependable and I have to be able to trust that whatever I tell you will stay here. Because if I'm coming to talk to you about me facing jealousy, that I'm really jealous of someone, I don't want to hear it out there. So I think that's very key. And I think a lot of women will be like, yeah, I really want to talk to someone, but not when I'll hear it right back in my face, you know? So I think that's one. And then I think, secondly, I think there's a perfect example of a woman that got help from Scripture. Go back and read your Proverbs 31 very well. That woman had a lot of help. Help at home, help in so many areas, and so it freed her up to become this, you know, this woman that we all want to be today. So I think it's very key that, number one, let go of pride. I did a video about that, and I just said, get help. Let go of pride. I was just talking with my husband about it. You know, pay attention to people who are strong in certain areas. Maybe a woman who's strong, you see, she's very strong in her finances. Find a way to approach her. My grandmother taught me something, and I'll share it. She said, child, you know when they call you child, you know that's deep. She said, child, look at everyone in your life and learn, take something good from every single person around you. Add it all up together and put it over your life. And you will become a mighty woman. And so I don't look for people's flaws, I look for their goods. And I'm looking at Queen, I'm like, I want to learn that from her. I want to learn that from her. I want to learn that from her. Notice I didn't say take. I said learn.
We need to learn how to be givers and learn and not just be takers. Queen, oh my God, Queen, she says some great things. But one thing that she told me, I said, I'm going to go have a meeting with someone. She said, Jess, when you go to that meeting, I want you to let that woman know that you're like a refrigerator. You might not use everything that she tells you right away, but you're storing it inside. Too many times, we go in with this mindset when we ask for help, we don't want to give anything back, or we let it go in one ear and out the other, or we don't truly allow it to settle inside or settle within us. And that's the big, I think that's another thing. We're going, you know, you had the point that you brought up, but also when you ask for help, make sure that you receive it.
That is correct.
Truly receive
because
it.
Because people's time, my time is valuable. I don't want to be spending all this time with you and you're not even applying it. And it gets to where, you know, you said there are not a lot of dependable people, and that's true. But then you have people that are dependable, but then you have those people that can leech on them and just suck them dry.
Just take.
And the analogy about being a refrigerator, actually I was reading a Moody book, and I was like, oh yes, this is how life is, because I might not use everything that, you know,
we're
the analogy,
I
might not use it now, the analogy that he said, you just store it up to use it for a later date.
Right.
And when we ask for help, do we really want to change? That's the thing. Do you really want to change, or are you looking for someone to just dump your trash, you know? So we want people, if I'm helping Jessica, I want you to receive from me. And I want to hear what you're going through. I don't want to just be rambling. Then I look up 2 months down the road. I'm like, Jess, how are you doing? Girl, still in the same circle. You know, it's like, what's this?
So we have number 1, we need more dependable leaders.
That is correct.
Number 2, we need to make sure that if you're going to that leader, the dependable leader, that you're also going to make sure you're learning from them.
That is correct.
You're not just going there to take. Yes. I want to bring, you also mentioned the Proverbs 31 woman and how she had help.
She had help. She's my mentor.
Make that your mentor, ladies. Make it your mentor. Proverbs
31.
I read a devotional by a young woman named Christen O'Neill. And Christen O'Neill, in this devotional, she says, everyone wants to be a Proverbs 31 woman, but they don't read the steps that come before you actually hit Proverbs 31.
Preach.
So that is something that we as women, we need to learn, that we need to go in and read everything that comes before Proverbs chapter 31. There are steps that you have to take to get there. You don't just become the Proverbs 31 woman overnight.
That is correct.
Yeah, and you know, like women that say, oh, I want to make my blow ass, like you said, that are just stagnant. They're not moving. They don't want to change their environment.
They don't want to take instructions.
They don't want to take instruction. They don't want to, you know, help somebody else. Like you said, she was helping her, you know, late mother-in-law and all those things. It's like, okay, you want this man, but you're not walking in your purpose. You're just there, you know, between maybe Starbucks and your job. You might find him, or if he knocks at your door. But what are the steps you're taking to just live your life and let God live through you, so you never know what you might run into? So people just sit there, this is what I want. You know, wishful thinking. It will come to me. It doesn't, what is the part you're playing in it? What is your role?